wangu kambi, ndio waziri wa leba, ashibe sana usubuhi, akula shibe.
Then there has been the question of whether indeed the union has delivered required services to its union members, or are the workers being taken for a ride?
Wafanyikazi wanakuwa imara. Tunaona sasa COTU wafanyikazi lipa shilingi 150 kwa mwezi. Kama ingekuwa kuna service unaweza kubali kulipa. Hangeweza kulipa. Zamani wakalipa 5 shillings. From 5 shillings atwala leta shilingi 100 na watu walikubali kwa sababu ya service. So bila kazi huwezi kupata kitu. Ndio hakuna chama chochote naona kama Trade Congress ya Soshoni na TUC. Waliletwa na waziri Kambi Kazungu, waziri Waiguru, waziri ule alikuwa kwa nini? Kwa education zamani huyo alianguka alikuwa kwa leba Kaimenyi. Wakafanya sherehe kubwa hapa KICC. Wako wapi? Kama COTU sasa hata Soshoni angekuwa kwa leba angekuwa amekwisha. Kama kusha kabisa. Kuna wakati alikamatwa wapeleka kule kwa shahidi tulikwenda kutoa yeye huko. Naona. So COTU kwa sababu kusimama independent nimepata imeungwa hata dunia yote katika Afrika. COTU ndio imeunderstand imebakia na Nigeria Labour Congress na ya South Africa. Ndizo COSATU.
Workers' problems change from time to time. The demands are life has become very expensive. The demands are higher. There are changes in technology today in this country, and globally. So, as much as we think we would want to live to expectation, it has not been. We have not been able to meet workers' expectation for various reasons. Reasons of government interference, employers being rigid, things like that. But I think for us, we have always tried to do our best to see that we give workers what they deserve. But it has been uphill because employers have always seen us as people who want to deprive them of their business or their money. So they want to maximize on profit, but they don't care who makes the profit.
Because if you want to be with the workers who have a mandate, independent mandate, and employers, you must be transparent, accountable to your deeds you are doing, and apply good governance. Then we will support you. But if you come comparing to other ministries, the Ministry of Education, they went to Ruaraka, they sold land millions, you want to bring the same at NSSF, you will not succeed. Even if I'm out of that board, so long as I'm still the Secretary General of COTU, my eyes will remain wide open. I will beam on you from wherever you are with the support of my colleagues, and we will come narrow down on you.
There is also the issue of the country's biggest pension fund. For years now, the national government and COTU have engaged in never-ending legal battles over the control of the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, which is said to have monies running into billions of shillings.
We have tried to tell the government and the ministry that NSSF is not a Ministry of Labour. All they need to do is to look at the Ministry of Labour as an important ministry that drives the economy of this country, and they should give it what it deserves so that we run this country in a manner that we can produce and be able to bring up the economy of this country. I think that is why the problem was there. And unless the government changes directions, it appears there will be more wars continuously. We need to blame the government because when you look for cabinet secretary, and particularly in a ministry like Ministry of Labour, you must think about who is supposed to be the cabinet secretary in that particular ministry. So in the first place, there was a wrong choice of the minister. I don't think he was equal to the task. It appears the government has looked down the Ministry of Labour, which is, in our view, one of the most important ministry in terms of driving the economy of our country. And so that was a wrong choice. Then the other issue is that I think there was that problem that arose out of the money in NSSF. It appears that every minister who comes to the Ministry of Labour thinks that NSSF is the ministry itself. So they develop a lot of interest there, either through the government influence or their own personal influence, so that if they want to have deals in the ministry and then you appear to be a stumbling block, then the fight must be on.
Any minister who is brought to the Minister of Labor, the weaker part of the Minister of Labor are workers. You are brought in to protect workers. Today, however, we have no labor inspectors. We have no labor officers. We need more labor officers in the Ministry of Labor. We have no factory inspectors, people to inspect issues related to occupational health and safety in our industries. The entrepreneurs are still locking people in their factories. If fire erupts, people die inside those factories. There is a rampant exploitation of labor in the name of casual, outsourced people, and piecemeal jobs, contracts, and seasonal jobs in Kenya, which have been outlawed in other countries. This is where you expect the Minister for Labor to play a crucial role. That whatever you have worked for per day, you must be paid that. And those companies that are making money, they must pay their workers well. This is the main preoccupation of the CS Labor. But if you see any labor minister who has been appointed, what he is seeing is NSSF, the kitty of these poor workers. That is where his eyes and noses are beaming. Then that is a relevant person. He doesn't know what he's doing. We need a minister who can restore the lost glory of the Ministry of Labor. Why do you come up with inferior legislation that does not match up the international requirement? Because you see, any labor laws must be pegged to the ILO conventions. ILO conventions, these are international conventions. ILO is a UN agency, United Nations agency, one of the United Nations agencies. So you cannot come up with inferior legislation which does not match or measure up to the international standards and instruments as far as workers' issues are concerned, and then you say you have this brain in parliament here. Sometimes I look at them and I say, where did these people go to school? But even going to school and having degrees, even PhDs, that is not education. Those are decorations. But an educated person would think twice before he does something, particularly something that can affect millions of people. COTU today enjoys membership of more than 2.5 million Kenyans. From 300,000. Yeah, when I took over. My own union, Kenya Plantation and Agricultural Workers Union, enjoys 360,000 members. Other unions have grown up, like Kenya Union of Commercial Food and Allied Workers Union. It's one of the giant unions in this country.
All senior leadership at Solidarity Building has been in office for over 15 years now, but dismiss the notion that they are leaders for life who have refused to retire.
Why don't they say Guled of Red Cross, he has overstayed. I came in 2002 when Guled was heading Red Cross. He's still there. I think it was 10 years or something like that. And he's doing a commendable job. Even when he leaves, I don't know, we'll get another Guled. That guy has done a commendable job in the Red Cross. Why are they saying he should go home? I have done a commendable job in labor movement, not only in Kenya, but in the whole world. I'm number 2. Why are they not praising me to say Atwila has done a good job? Whenever I go on the continent of Africa, the following day, I pay a courtesy call to the head of state.
If you went to the ILO conference, you'll find people older than ourselves still coming and serving, because it's a service, it's a calling. So if you think, if the people in communication workers think that I still can serve them well, fine. But we have been advised, and we are now trying to do succession plans in our unions. Even here in COTU, if you look around us, there are relatively younger people coming up, and we hope they will take over the leadership. But if we go to the to the delegates conference and say, look, let Francis continue for another 5 years, let Okoro be the deputy, so be it. I think it is not that we are undemocratic. It is that the people normally make that decision because we want continuity, we want stability of the union. And I think that's basically why we have stayed. And we must tell the Kenyans that when time comes for us to leave, we are able to leave. We are not going to sit here and stay on like people in government stay for life.
Duncan Hemba, The Untold Story.